All right, party pilgrims, how you doing out there? It's Richie and Dusty, and we are in the death chamber bathroom of doom because we needed some better lighting. I'd like everybody to see this because this is a report that I actually researched and published myself. I went on the internet and I searched 13 news articles and published a 33-page document that is widely known within the city, known as the Long Beach Slow Screw Report. If you'll see, we have a Miami redo. Thank you very much. Old news versus California conspiracy. And we have the Foster effect, the city clerk's office, and then the unfortunate demise of acres of books. Now, by the way, how we doing there, folks? I'm doing pretty good. I've had better days, but I'm just in here and getting ready to present some very important documents that should bring this whole thing to its complete light. What is the main problem here in Long Beach and in California is the fact that the federal government officials refuse to do their jobs. And the first example I can give you is how the FCC, despite my numerous complaints about the abuse of IMSI catchers, refuses to even acknowledge they exist. I had a meeting with one of their field technicians named Edward Dixon on the corner of Belmont and Ocean Boulevard after I made repeated complaints to AT&T, and their field technician refused to admit to me that these devices are even like real. Okay, now the FCC will have in their records my complaints. All right, now here is what is most important. During my activities as a candidate for mayor, I made complaints to the U.S. Attorney's Office. As you can see, we have the Department of Justice here and their logo, and this facsimile transmission that I made to the U.S. Department of Justice. And this all occurred on 8/3/14. You'll see my signature there. So what this amounts to, folks, is when I was a candidate for mayor and I was publishing documents like this, and I was attempting to inform the federal government that we have a major problem here of election fraud. Okay, what did they do? Well, as many people know, I had to personally go to the FBI office in the federal building where their address is publicly published to only be informed they left and that they had relocated to the World Trade Center building. So I then went and walked over to the World Trade Center building in my mayor's suit and attempted to enter their suite. I was blocked by a woman who claimed they had relocated to another premises and she was not aware of the address of that premises. So I was told by a representative from the Federal Bureau of Investigation that they left and she didn't know where they went. So in other matters, what we have here is a document that I got from an attorney named Scott Landis, who used to have an office over in Naples. Now, in the course of my activities, I got sideswiped on Bayshore Avenue by a woman in her Chevy Tahoe on my bicycle as I rode down the bike lane. She hit me with the left side of her car so severely it slammed her right rear view mirror back and it contorted my front tire to the point where it was 90 degrees to the right of its original straight position, and I actually got quite sore and I was almost knocked off my bike and over the seawall and onto the beach. And what happened was I approached this attorney in order to get medical checkups and treatment if it was necessary. And all this, now this was preceding my congressional campaign. Now I needed medical treatment. I needed to at least be checked out by my family doctor, Roger Nash, at the Naples Family Medical Center. But at the time, I couldn't afford to pay any medical bills. So I was forced to approach this attorney. Now, I told him that I did not want to be involved in any kind of litigation prior to my congressional campaign. Now, let's see when this actually started. It was in January. Now, I do believe the actual election activities weren't for another 3 or 4 months. I'd have to check my records. But what happened was this guy dragged his feet and he had his staff drag their feet to the point where this litigation had still not concluded, even though there was video camera footage available from the woman who owns, I think, 155 Bayshore, which is directly left, or I should say north of 153 Bayshore, where I've been working recently. Her name is Sonia, and she has a number of video cameras available on her building. And we'll just leave it at that. So what basically occurred was I was forced to conclude this case without any actual resolution because of my concern about running for Congress. And all this man did was basically shortchange me and fuck me over. And then he very quietly retired and disappeared from the Naples scene. So Scott Landis is a lawyer who basically is in cahoots with the establishment and fucked me over. So I hope everybody understands where we're going here. We have major league corruption infesting the state of California. Okay, we have a paralysis of law enforcement from the federal government on down, and it is affecting everything. Do you understand what I'm saying here, people? This is not a fucking joke. All right, we need to all address this problem before these people murder me. Do you understand that? They're going to do this to me at the first opportunity. Unless Dusty here, who's got his fighting face on, starts tooling up and breaks out his Winchester. Otherwise, I think I'm in deep shit.